Hey guys, it's full moon tonight. You can see the full moon coming up over the mountains behind me. We are starting on chapter 8, Building the New. And for the last 7 chapters, we have been looking at, identifying what is the problem, what's getting in the way, what is it true? And then we also talked a little bit about that resistance to change, right? So tonight we're going to look at building the new. So she starts off with a whole list of limiting beliefs or identifying things that we don't want, right? So I don't want to be fat, broke, old. I don't want to live here. I don't want to have this relationship. I don't want to be like my mother or my father. I don't want to be lonely, unhappy. I don't want to be sick, right? So all of those show how we are culturally taught to fight the negative mentally, thinking that if we do so, the positive will automatically come to us. And unfortunately, it just doesn't work that way. How often have you lamented about what you didn't want? Did it ever bring you what you really wanted? Fighting the negative is a total waste of time if you really want to make changes in your life. The more you dwell on what you don't want, the more of it you create. The things about yourself or your life that you have always disliked are probably still with you. What you put your attention on grows and becomes permanent in your life. Move away from the negative and put your attention on what really is what you want to be, what you want to have. Let's turn the above negative affirmations into positive affirmations. So instead of I'm too fat or I don't want to be fat, I am slender. Instead of I don't want to be broke, I am prosperous. Instead of I don't want to be old, I am eternally young. Instead of I don't want to be unhappy, I am joyous and happy and free. I don't want to be sick. Instead say, I am totally happy and healthy. Learn to think in positive affirmations. Affirmations can be any statement you make. Too often we think in negative affirmations, and they only create more of what you say you don't want. Saying, I hate my job will get you nowhere. Declaring, I now accept a wonderful new job will open the channels in your consciousness to create that. Continually make positive statements about how you want your life to be. Think of yourself as like an architect, right? You're dreaming about what you want to build. You're creating, you have a vision for what you want to bring in. There is one point that is very important in this. Always make your statement in the present tense, such as I am or I have. Your subconscious mind is such an obedient servant that if you declare in the future tense, I want or I will have, then that is where the idea will always stay, just out of your reach in the future. As I have said before, no matter what the problem is, the main issue to work on is loving the self. This is the magic wand that dissolves the problems. Remember the times when you have felt good about yourself and how well your life was going? Do you remember that? Remember the times when you were in love, and for those periods you seemed to have no problems at all. Well, loving yourself is going to bring such a surge of good feelings and good fortune to you that you will be dancing on air. Loving yourself makes you feel good. It is impossible to really love yourself unless you have self-approval and self-acceptance. This means no criticism whatsoever. I can hear all the objections right now. But I've always criticized myself. Well, how can I possibly like that about myself? My parents always criticized me. How will I ever be motivated if I don't criticize myself? But it's wrong for me to do those things. Or how am I going to change if I don't criticize myself? Training the mind. Self-criticism, such as that illustrated above, is just the mind going on with old chatter. See how you've trained your mind to berate yourself and be resistant to that change? Ignore these thoughts and get on with what the important work is at hand. So thinking back to the exercise that we had done previously in another chapter, look into a mirror and say to yourself, I love and approve of myself exactly as I am. I love and approve of myself exactly as I am. So how does that feel? Is it easier after the forgiveness work that you did a couple of chapters ago? This is still the main issue. Self-approval and self-acceptance are the keys to positive change. In the days when my own self-denial was so prevalent, I would occasionally slap my own face. I didn't know the meaning of self-acceptance. My belief in my own lacks and limitations was stronger than anything anyone else could say to the contrary. If someone told me that I was loved, I immediately reacted by saying things like, why? What could anyone possibly see in me? Or maybe the classic thought, if only they knew what I was really like inside, they wouldn't love me. I was not aware that all good things begin with accepting that which is within oneself and loving that self which is you. It took quite a while to develop a peaceful, loving relationship with myself. And maybe you're experiencing that as well. It does take time. First, I used to hunt for the little things about myself that I thought were good qualities. Even this helped, and my own health began to improve. Good health begins with loving the self. So do prosperity and love and creative expression. Later, I learned to love and approve of all of me, even those qualities I thought were not good enough. That was when I really began to make progress. So she brings us to an exercise, and it's called I Approve of Myself. She says, I have given this exercise to hundreds of people, and the results are phenomenal. For the next month, say over and over and over and over to yourself, I approve of myself. I approve of myself. I approve of myself. Do this 300 to 400 times a day, at least. No, she says it's not too many. When you are worrying, you go over your old problems at least that many times. Let I approve of myself become a walking mantra. Something you just say over and over and over to yourself, almost nonstop. Saying I approve of myself is a guaranteed way to bring up everything buried in your consciousness that is in opposition. When a negative thought comes up, such as, how can I approve of myself when I'm fat? Or it's silly to think this can be any good, or I'm no good, or whatever your negative babble will be, this is the time to take mental control. Give those thoughts no importance. Just see them for what they are. Another way to keep you stuck in the past. Gently say to these thoughts, I let you go. I approve of myself. I let you go. I approve of myself. Even considering doing this exercise can bring up a lot of stuff like it feels silly. It's awkward. It doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel true. It's a lie. It sounds so stuck up or selfish. How can I approve of myself when I do that? Let all these thoughts just pass through. These are only resistant thoughts. They have no power over you unless you choose to believe in them. I approve of myself. I approve of myself. I approve of myself. No matter what happens, no matter who says what to you, no matter who does what to you, just keep going. In fact, when you can say that to yourself, when someone is doing something you don't approve of, you will know you are growing and changing. Thoughts have no power over us unless we give in to them. Thoughts are only words strung together. They have no meaning whatsoever. Only we give meaning to them. Let's choose to think thoughts that nourish and support us. Part of self-acceptance is releasing other people's opinions. If I were with you and kept telling you, you are a purple pig, you are a purple pig, you would either laugh at me or get annoyed with me and think I was crazy. It would be most unlikely that you would think it was true. Yet many of the things we have chosen to believe about ourselves are just as far out and untrue. To believe that about your self-worth is dependent on the shape of your body is your version of believing that you are a purple pig. Often, what we think of as the things that are wrong with us are only our expressions of our own individuality. This is our uniqueness and what is special about us. Nature never repeats itself. Since time began on this planet, there has never been two snowflakes alike or two raindrops the same. And every daisy is different from every other daisy. Our fingerprints are different. And we are different. We are meant to be different. When we can accept this, then there is no competition and no comparison. To try to be like another is to shrivel our soul. We have to come to this planet to express who we are. I didn't even know who I was until I began to learn to love myself as I am in this moment. I approve of myself. I approve of myself. I approve of myself. Think thoughts that make you happy. Do things that make you feel good. Be with people who make you feel good. Eat things that make your body feel good. Go at a pace that makes you feel good. Think for a moment of a tomato plant. A healthy plant can have over 100 tomatoes on it. In order to get this tomato plant with all those tomatoes on it, we need to start with a small dried seed. That seed doesn't look like a tomato plant. It sure doesn't taste like a tomato plant. And if you didn't know for sure, you would not even believe it could be a tomato plant. However, let's say you plant this seed in fertile soil and you water it and you let the sun shine on it. When the first little tiny shoot comes up, you don't stomp on it and say, "That's not a tomato plant." Rather, you look at it and you say, "Ooh, oh boy, here it comes." And you watch it grow with delight. In time, if you continue to water it and let it get lots of sunshine and pull away any weeds, you might have a tomato plant with more than 100 luscious tomatoes. And it all began with that one tiny seed. It's the same with creating our new experiences. The soil you plant is in your subconscious mind. The seed is the new affirmation. I love and approve of myself, just as I am. The whole new experience is in this tiny seed. You water it with affirmations. You let the sunshine of positive thoughts beam on it. You weed the garden by pulling out the negative thoughts that come up. And when you see the tiniest little evidence, you don't stomp on it and say, "That's not enough." Instead, you look at this first breakthrough and you exclaim with glee, "Oh boy, here it comes. It's working." Then you watch it grow and become your desire in manifestation. So here's another exercise, and she's called this one, Create New Changes. So now is the time to take your list of things that are wrong with you and turn them into positive affirmation. Or you can list all the changes you want to make and have and all the things that you want to do and turn those into positive affirmations. Then select 3, just 3 for now, from this list and turn those into positive affirmations. So just suppose your negative list was something like this. My life is a mess. I should lose weight. Nobody loves me. I want to move. I hate my job. I should get organized. I just don't do enough. I'm not good enough. You could turn them around to say something like this. I'm willing to release the pattern in me that created these conditions. I am in the process of positive change. I have a happy, slender body. I experience love wherever I go. I have the perfect living space. I now create a wonderful new job. I am now very well organized. I appreciate all that I do. I love and approve of myself. I trust the process of life to bring me my highest good. I deserve the best, and I accept it now. Out of this group of affirmations will come all the things you want to change on your list. Loving and approving of myself or yourself, creating a space of safety, trusting and deserving and accepting. These will all enable your body weight to normalize. They will create organization in your mind, create loving relationships in your life, attract a new job, and a new place to live. It is miraculous the way a tomato plant grows, and it is miraculous the way we can demonstrate our desires. Do you know that you deserve to have what you desire? If you don't, you won't allow yourself to have it. Circumstances beyond your control will crop up to frustrate you. Another exercise that she offers is called I deserve. And so again, coming back to the mirror. And so you're in front of the mirror and you say, I deserve to have or be, and then blank, ditty blank, whatever it is that you deserve to have or be. And I accept it now. Say it 2 or 3 times. I deserve to have or be, and then whatever it is that you want, and I accept it now. And how do you feel? Always pay attention to the feeling, to what's actually going on within your body. Does it feel true? Or do you still feel unworthy? If you have any negative feelings in your body, then go back to affirming. I release the pattern in my consciousness that is creating resistance to my good. I deserve, and then whatever it is that you want. Repeat this until you get the acceptance feelings, even if you have to do it several days in a row. Holistic philosophy. In our approach to building the new, we want to use a holistic approach. The holistic philosophy is to nurture and nourish the entire being, the body, the mind, and the spirit. If we ignore any of these areas, we are incomplete. We lack wholeness. It doesn't matter where we start as long as we also include the other areas. If we begin with the body, we would want to work with nutrition, to learn the relationship between our choice of food and beverage and how they affect the way we feel. We want to make the best choices for our body. There are herbs and vitamins, homeopathy, Bach flower remedies, and so on. We might explore colonics. We would want to find a form of exercise that appeals to us. Exercise is something that strengthens our bones and keeps our bodies young. In addition to sports and swimming, consider dancing, Tai Chi, Qigong, martial arts, yoga. I love my trampoline and I use it daily. My slant board enhances my periods of relaxation. We might want to explore some form of body work, such as Rolfing, Heller work, or Triger. Massage, foot reflexology, acupuncture, or chiropractic work are all beneficial as well. There's also the Alexander method, bioenergetics, touch for health, and Reiki forms of body work. With the mind, we could explore visualization techniques, guided imagery, and affirmations. There are lots of psychological techniques: Gestalt, hypnosis, rebirthing, psychodrama, past life regression, art therapy, dream work, inner child work. And then meditation in any form is a wonderful way to quiet the mind and allow your own knowingness to come to the surface. I usually just sit with my eyes closed and say, what is it that I need to know? And then I will wait quietly for an answer. If the answer comes, fine. And if it doesn't, fine. Because I know it will come another day. There are groups that do workshops for all different tastes, such as insight, loving relationship training, advocate experience, the Ken Keys group, actualizations, and many more. Many of these groups do weekend workshops. These weekends give you a chance to see a whole new viewpoint about life. No one workshop will totally clear up all your problems forever. However, they can assist you in changing your life in the here and now. In the spiritual realm, there is prayer, there's meditation, there's becoming connected with your higher source. For me, practicing forgiveness and unconditional love are spiritual practices. There are many spiritual groups. In addition to the Christian churches, there are metaphysical churches, such as the Religious Science and Unity. There's a Self-Realization Fellowship, Transcendental Meditation, the Siddha Foundation, and so on. What I want you to know is that there are many, many avenues you can explore. And if one way doesn't work for you, then try another. All these suggestions have proved to be beneficial. I cannot say which one is right for you. That is something you will have to discover for yourself. No one method or one person or one group has all the answers for everyone. I don't have all the answers for everyone. I am just one more stepping stone on the pathway to holistic health. So that wraps up the chapter, and I'm just going to end with a prayer. So if you want to just sit for a moment and soak this in. In the infinity of life where I am, all is perfect, whole, and complete. My life is ever new. Each moment of my life is new and fresh and vital. I use my affirmative thinking to create exactly what I want. This is a new day. I am a new me. I think differently. I speak differently. I act differently. Others treat me differently. My new world is a reflection of my new thinking. It is a joy and a delight to plant new seeds, for I know these seeds will become my new experiences. All is well in my world. Blessings on this full moon. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your week.